For this video, I'm going to talk about kind of a common things that happens when you're throwing a cylinder, and that's when your cylinder, you see it start to flare out. A couple reasons for that. Your natural kind of throwing motion is going to kind of pull your hands out, and so that clay is going to follow it. As well as there's this thing called centrifugal force that is spinning. So this top of the clay, if we split it for a long time, is eventually going to want to go and flare out. Right? And so I can see and I can look at this sides of this cylinder, this profile, and see that it goes kind of up and then it flares out up at the top. Right? I teach and we do something called choking, right, to help this cylinder get back to being going straight up and down. Okay? And yes, just like the name would imply, we're going to pretend like this cylinder is almost a neck, and we're getting our hands in position around it to help eventually smooth it back to being directly upright. So this is how it looks, this is how it works. We're gonna get our clay wet, we're gonna get our hands wet. I'm going to make this hand position at the bottom. Now sometimes you might need to adjust your hands. Sometimes you're not gonna be able to do all kind of 4 fingers, right? Sometimes you might only do 2, 1. You can kind of play around with what hand position works best for you. But the idea is that I'm going to get that circular width of the base of my cylinder kind of down with the shape of my hands. Okay? And then after I get that width, I'm going to keep that width and keep my hands in that circular motion, and I'm going to move slowly up the sides of my walls, okay? Keeping my hands in that same position and making the clay move to my hands. Now, I might do this once or twice until I feel like my cylinder's all the way, and I don't necessarily need to start all the way at the bottom. If I know that the bottom to the middle is straight up and down, I can maybe start at the middle, maybe add more fingers, and keep that width that I got at the bottom as I work all the way up. Right? I can already tell by looking at this now that my clay and my cylinder is straight up and down, and I've gotten rid of that flaring motion at the top. Right? I might compress my rim after I do that, and then I can continue to pull depending on what I want. Right? You should choke as much as you feel like you need to. So if that's after every pull and you want to make sure that that cylinder is going straight up and down, totally fine. If you want to wait after a couple pulls, then choke, it's totally up to you and what you feel like your individual cylinder needs.